All right, I am so sorry about today. My fault. I was down in San Jose and my car broke down, and it took me literally, I sat on the side of the freeway for 4 hours waiting for the tow truck. I don't want to talk about it anymore. So let's jump right in. I want to make this a fairly short video. It's meant to make up for lost ground. Hopefully I'm going to do it in under 10 minutes, but I did want to cover some key points before Friday so that we don't get too far behind. So the agenda for today was an overview of the class. I want to talk about the syllabus, what we're going to do. I want to talk a little bit about the retreat and a little bit about this concept of training grouped. Obviously, we're not going to do the fishbowl or the group discussion because it's just me talking to a computer. So the class is structured. It's really going to follow Irving Yalom's classic book, The Theory and Practice of Group Psychotherapy. It's the gold standard. It was written a long time ago. It's been through 5 editions. And it has everything we need to know to get started on doing group psychotherapy. We'll augment that reading with various articles from journals, mostly peer-reviewed APA journals, because the APA wants you to have an empirically focus too. Today was meant to be an introduction, and then next week, and this is essential, I really want you to pay attention, you will not be able to participate in next week's essential, what I would term as a informed consent discussion, if you don't do the reading, at least the first 3 readings. And it's not very much, 3 pages. I think it's 6, 2, a half, and 2 pages. But if you don't read that reading, you won't know enough to offer conformed consent and be able to participate in the discussion about how to form the training group. And then chapter 5 is a little bit longer. I think that's about 20 pages, and that talks about the therapist's role in creating a group, things like creating norms and what the therapist's role is in that. And that's really useful as we embark on creating our own therapy training group. The next 4 classes are going to cover and these classes will be run half the time we'll do a lecture, and half the time we'll do our training group. And I'll talk about the training group more specifically here in a moment. And in terms of lecture and the content of those lectures for the first 4 classes, what we'll be doing is going over in the various therapeutic factors, mechanisms, and processes of change, why group therapy, how does group therapy work that's different from individual therapy, and then of course we'll be experiencing those principles in our own training group. After those 6 classes, we're going to spend 2 6-hour days together doing an intensive, immersive, experiential group process. When you don't have a year to do a group, this I think is the next best thing, in the sense that it takes time, and if you have intensive time, longer periods of time, you can begin to really get a flavor for group process. Then when we come back from that retreat, we'll have 2 more classes. We'll spend some time reflecting and reviewing the principles we read about in in our reading, and applying them to our own experience in the retreat. And then the last class will talk about what it takes to become a group therapist and how that training works, and reflect on how we did in giving you a flavor for that in this course. So in terms of requirements, participation is huge. Attendance and timeliness is going to be essential, and active participation in the groups. Of course, you know that I'm a huge fan of reflection journals, and so I believe that reflection, the ability to take some time to think about my experience, what happened, how did I experience that, and be able to articulate that, is an essential clinical skill that we all need to hone and practice and develop. The timeliness of those reflections is going to be essential, because each group is going to contain its own material, so to speak, and if you don't reflect on that, you'll get behind, and you won't really the reflections simply won't work if you're 3 groups behind. Then I'd also like you to take a empirically supported group intervention from the American Group Psychotherapy Association's website. I uploaded the syllabus to Canvas. This is I wrote. If you want more information about this, you can go there. But you can partner up and do these in pairs. It's going to be a 15 to 20-minute presentation on an empirically supported group intervention that works. And what you'll be doing is you'll be looking at that group intervention and then articulating why it works, the mechanisms of change, the group processes, why group, not individual, using the theory that we've learned in class. Next week, we are going to discuss the ethical issues involved in creating a training group, and we're going to attempt to do informed consent for you and choose what kind of training group we want to do. In order to do that, you get to choose. I don't believe in forcing you, and there's an ethical issue. I don't even think the APA allows you to, but there's this training groups contain their own unique challenges. And so the reading for next week is about training groups. It's about, there's a couple pages in Yalom, and he specifically talks about pages 518 to 5. Well, those are incorrect. I've uploaded them. That's from the old, that's from, I think, 4th edition. I uploaded the 5th edition ones on the website, but it's essential you read those pages, and then it's also really important that you read the informed consent. I've got Irving Yalom's informed consent for groups. Those two documents are going to be essential for you to be able to participate in our discussion for next week. So I look forward to talking about it, and look forward to seeing you. And I apologize again. I am so sorry I missed today. I was so excited to get started. Can't tell you how much I'm looking forward to this class. All right, take care.